Eleanor White was 72 years old and lived alone in a small wooden house on the edge of a quiet American town called Brookfield. People knew her as a harmless, silent old woman who spent her days gardening and feeding birds. Her back was slightly bent, her hands wrinkled, and her gray hair always tied neatly in a bun. But what people didn't know was that Eleanor had once been a strong, intelligent woman with dreams, courage, and a happy family until everything was taken from her. Every night, Eleanor sat by her window, staring at the dark road outside. Her eyes were calm, but inside her heart, a storm of pain and anger was waiting for the right moment. 25 years ago, Eleanor owned a successful family business with her husband, Robert White. It was a construction company they built together from nothing. They trusted people easily, especially a man named Victor Kane, their business partner. Victor was greedy and cruel. Slowly, he cheated them, stole documents, and blamed Robert for financial crimes he never committed. Robert was arrested. The stress destroyed him, and he died of a heart attack in prison before the truth could come out. Eleanor lost everything: her husband, her business, her respect, and even her home. Victor Kane walked free, rich, and powerful. That day, Eleanor promised herself one thing: I will not die before justice is done. For years, Eleanor stayed silent. She moved to Brookfield, lived a simple life, and let people believe she was weak and broken. But behind closed doors, she was learning. She read law books, studied business records, and followed Victor Kane's empire quietly. She learned about his illegal deals, his fake charities, and the innocent people he destroyed. While Victor grew richer, Eleanor grew smarter. Revenge, she believed, was not about anger, it was about patience. One day, a young journalist named Sarah Miller came to Brookfield to investigate corruption in big corporations. Eleanor invited her in for tea like a kind grandmother. Slowly, Eleanor shared documents, old contracts, hidden bank records, and proof of Victor's crimes. Sarah was shocked. "Why didn't you come forward earlier?" she asked. Eleanor smiled softly. "Because the world only listens when the timing is perfect." That article changed everything. The news exploded across the USA. Victor Kane's name was everywhere: fraud, corruption, money laundering, and murder cover-ups. Government agencies reopened old cases. Victor tried to escape, but this time there was no one left to save him. His empire collapsed in weeks. His friends disappeared. His money was frozen. When Victor was finally arrested, he looked old, weak, and terrified. Eleanor watched the news quietly, holding Robert's old photograph in her hands. "Justice," she whispered, "has finally woken up." Victor requested to meet Eleanor in prison. He didn't recognize her at first, the quiet old woman. "You ruined my life," he shouted. Eleanor looked at him calmly. "No, Victor, you ruined your own life. I just reminded the world who you really are." For the first time, Victor Kane was speechless. Victor Kane was sentenced to life in prison. Eleanor received her husband's name cleared and compensation from the government. But money was never her goal. She donated most of it to victims like her, people destroyed by powerful men. Back in Brookfield, Eleanor returned to her garden. The birds still came every morning. The town still saw her as a harmless old woman. But Eleanor knew the truth. Eleanor stood by her window one last time, smiling peacefully. Her revenge was not violence. Her revenge was truth. Her revenge was justice. And it was complete.